Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. We are going to Clifton Hill today. We were staying at the Hilton overnight, and when we woke up it was extremely foggy. So one of the things to note, especially about this time of year in Canada, it is, the weather is so all over the place that you don't necessarily know what kind of weather you're going to get when you wake up. So on this day it was extremely foggy. We couldn't see the falls. So if you're booking a falls view room, just note that you might not always be able to see the falls. You know where they should be, but they're not necessarily there. They're covered in fog. So sometimes there's freezing rain or a blizzard, that kind of thing. So just something to note if you wanted to book a city view room instead, there's plenty of places to go outside and look at the falls. So you can walk right along the side of them. You can stand on a bridge. There's plenty of restaurants that overlook. Yeah, you have lots of opportunities. So before we went to Niagara Falls, I had decided to buy these passes at Costco. They're the fun passes for Clifton Hill. So you can see there's quite a few things that are listed on there. We ended up doing the wizard golf instead of the dinosaur. The dinosaur is outside and the wizard is indoors. And the Wild West coaster has been renamed, so you'll see that. And we did not do zombie attack. That was up a little bit further away. Everything is pretty centralized once you get to Clifton Hill as well. You can walk down to the bottom of Clifton Hill and get to the falls and walk along there. So the first thing we decided to do was go into the Movieland Wax Museum. This was such a funny adventure. You can see it's $12.99 for adults, and children are not that much cheaper. So this pass is extremely worth it if you want to do a few things while you're here. And some of these wax figures were so funny. I loved how they laid out all of the scenes. I thought that was really neat. A lot of the people just fit into their areas, but some of the wax figures looked nothing like the person they were portraying, and then others were spot on. So it was pretty fun to just go through. We had a good laugh at a few of them, and others we really appreciated. So most of it is not frightening for children. Now there is a section coming up here where you'll see you can take a path into the horror section. It wasn't that frightening. Nothing's going to jump out and scare you. But if you do have people in your party that are a little bit nervous, this might not be the place for them. You can bypass the whole section and meet them out at the superhero section. So we had a lot of fun going through the Wax Museum, and I highly recommend it if you do get time. But again, it is probably a one and done. Once you've seen it, you're pretty much done. It wasn't overly crowded while we were in here. We were pretty much one of the only parties. There was a couple people ahead of us, a couple people behind us, but lots of space to take your time and take your photos and just really enjoy yourself while you're here. I'm sure at different times of the year, possibly in the summertime when it is insanely busy, these places are a lot more crowded than they were at this time. It used to be that you could come to the falls in the winter and it would be pretty quiet, but that has completely changed now that we've got casinos and lots of hotels rather than motels overlooking the falls. So the Canadian side of Niagara Falls is a very updated section. Wax Museum, we decided to head on up next to the SkyWheel and go into the Wizard's Adventure Golf. The dinosaur golf is just here on the left. The Wizard's Golf is just around the corner in the building. It was raining outside, so the dinosaur golf was actually closed. And I've never been into the Wizard Golf. I thought it was amazing. I do love myself a good glow-in-the-dark mini putt, and that's exactly what this was. The scenes were really well painted. Everything was glowing and just beautiful in there, if you can call it that. And I had a fantastic time. I think everybody in our party really enjoyed this. You do have to go down some stairs, and they do have an elevator if you have people in your party that require that. And to get to the 18th hole, you need to climb back up those stairs. So it was all very magical down here, and we had a fantastic time. So once we were done this, we decided to head into the Midway. That is just down by the Movieland Wax Museum, and here's my fun passes again. We went in there, the Kitty Casino. They do give you 5 free tokens on your fun pass. That's not going to get you very far because most of these games took 3 or more tokens in order to play. So if you do have the 5 free tokens, as adults, we ended up handing our free tokens over to the children. The child's pass and the adult's pass both only have the 5 tokens. So if you want to upgrade, that is up to you. They have a spot there where you can do that and pay for more. And of course, you get the tickets at the end where you can go to the little kiosk and pick out a prize. So that's a lot of fun for the kids. If they love doing that kind of thing, we had a great time in here. Once we were in here, we decided to go and play the Ghostblasters dark ride, which is a fun little ride, also in the dark. $4.99 admission to get in plus taxes. So adding that on, if you're going to do it separately, I would say $4.99 for this is a great price. You know, it's just a little ride through, nothing too spectacular. I didn't find it very accurate, but it was a lot of fun to play. I, of course, was not very good at this, but my party had a really fun time. It's 2 per cart, and just a cute way to spend a little bit of time. If you do have people that are a little bit more nervous in your party that don't like the ghost theme of this, it might be a little bit frightening for them, but again, nothing jumps out at you, nothing is going to touch you or scare you too much. It is just a little ride through, and you shoot at the little targets. So the next thing we decided to do after this was head on over to the coaster. It is a 4D coaster, so it is not an actual roller coaster. This was more of a sit in the seat. The seat vibrates, and you wear the 3D glasses while you're on it. It was extremely rocky, so if that's not your thing, definitely avoid this one. I would say this was probably my least favorite out of all of the things that we did do. I'm going to let you watch a little bit of this for yourself so you can decide whether or not it's something that you're interested in. You do wear the 3D glasses while you're on this ride. It was fun, don't get me wrong, but it was definitely my least favorite part. Finally, once we were done with the coaster, we decided to move on to the SkyWheel. We had one member of our party that was really uninterested in doing the SkyWheel, so we saved this one for last. We didn't do the zombie attack at all, so this would be our last thing on the pass. Now, one of the good things about this pass is that you don't have to do everything all in one day. You can save whatever you don't get done and do it a different day if you're coming back, or just save it for another time altogether. Now, full disclosure, heights are not my thing, so I've done the SkyWheel before. It does give you an amazing overview of everything that is on Clifton Hill, the Niagara Falls itself, so it's pretty cool for that. It was raining this day, so a lot of what we saw was through the rain window. That didn't make it any less busy here. We did get a good shot of Niagara Falls as well. We were able to see an overview of the dinosaur mini putt. And it's just a really neat way to experience Niagara Falls. It's a really great thing to have on your pass. I think that this is probably one of the main attractions that Niagara Falls on Clifton Hill has. So I was quite pleased to see it on this pass. And they do have sort of a talk through while you're in there. There is a fan, and you don't feel claustrophobic at all. Now, don't lean on these doors. That is one of the rules. And that is what makes me nervous. I'm watching everything go by as we head on up to the top, and I'm seeing, you know, how it works and everything like that, and that just makes my stomach sink. So not necessarily my favorite thing, but I can appreciate why people enjoy going on this. And these gondolas hold up to 8 people, and I can't remember the weight requirements on it, but if you do have a larger party, we had 7 people squeezed into this gondola, and I probably would have preferred a little bit more space in order to spread out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative for you, whether or not you're using the Clifton Hill Pass or if you were just staying at the Hilton or one of the other great hotels along this section. There are so many things to see and do while you are here, not just the falls, which I mean I take for granted we see all the time, but I understand that it is a fantastic thing to visit from anywhere in the world. So with that being said, I am off, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Thanks for coming along.